I've
gosh.
worked out.
That's let me ask you a question about that, because race relations, obviously, hands up, don't shoot, and all the things that have happened here. And you are, they peg you as this right-wing guy. You were, like you just said, you were raised in that era of the rhythm and blues time period where racism was, you were involved in all of that stuff from the beginning. What do you make of all this stuff that's going on now with the race relations and hands up, don't shoot, and Eric Holder? What's your take on this?
Well, I guess I could summarize best by saying, hands up, don't shoot, bend over, don't spank. Neither has happened. I mean, what a tragedy. As I was growing up, in Detroit, we were surrounded by musicians, mostly black. It was the whole Motown thing, and all the rhythm and blues bands, and the Temptations, and the Four Tops, and then Yusef Lateef down at the local bar and grill where we'd play. There was such a unification. Colorless. We never judged by color. We always judged by spirit and soul, which I think is a translation for content of character. So as I saw race relations improve, realize I was there in the 60s where, there were separate water fountains down south for whites and black and separate bathrooms. But I was in Detroit, and I was virtually unaware of that. I would see the stuff on the news once in a while, but I was always playing my guitar down by the Rouge River with my bow and arrow. So I was living this isolated, insulated life of musical intensity and the spirit of the wild. So when I started hearing about the abuse of blacks at the hands of corrupt governments and the Democrat Party and their Ku Klux Klan men, I was shattered. And so I suppose I can jettison forward where by the late 60s and 70s, I couldn't find racism. I never saw racism. I never heard of racism. I thought it was a thing of the past and in isolated pockets of inbreeding and cannibalism and spiritlessness. So then when I saw the president literally state that, the cops acted stupidly without any information, I recoiled and went, whoa, wait a minute. This guy's judging by color of skin. Then I saw him sigh that Trayvon Martin could have been his son. Really? So your son would have been kicked out of the house by his mother? Your son would have been guilty of having stolen goods in the school locker on numerous occasions, and then he attacked a community watch guy? Really? That could have been your son? So I'm heartbroken that it has deteriorated to the point it has, because I was on the road for the greatest tour of my life in Shut Up and Jam 2014. I never smelled racism. I never heard of any racism except the celebration of divisiveness in the media, academia, and by our own government. So when I hear the racism from a gun-running attorney general, and they side with an Al not-so-sharpton racist mongrel, it breaks my heart, because nowhere in the Nugent world, nowhere on tour, nowhere in my hunting camps, nowhere in the school activities or the charity activities of nowhere can I find racism except coming out of the White House.
Yeah, and so when you look at where